things that sadly for far too long we haven't really been doing in this district, but thanks to the incredible work of the board supporting it, the team, and the taxpayers, we're really bringing a kind of a new level of commitment to our buildings, because with a good building, students can learn better, teachers can teach better, and all of the staff can support our community even better. With that being said, we have a couple of things on the agenda that we'll get to, but I just want to thank everybody for being here. Please, if you haven't taken a vacation, you really should, so that we can start the new year, the new school year, very strong in the next couple of weeks. And so with that, I do want to say one thing. It was sort of mentioned last time, but I was kind of waiting for a little bit more of a full board, but you might notice that we have a new member to executive team. That's Kim Adams. I want to thank her specifically for the many, many years she has given to this district, and to congratulate her for coming to that table, although I don't know if that's congratulations or I'm sorry, but really how happy we are to have you there. And also to point to the board to say this is the executive team now. It is certainly not my intention to change anything anytime soon. We have the right structure, the right model for a district of our size, to have two deputies, one in charge of schools, one in charge of special populations, to have a COO in charge of your facilities and technology and things like that, HR, and then to have an executive director of culture and climate, really helping to support the social and emotional needs of our children, and then an assistant superintendent of budget and finance. That's the right structure. It took me 2 years, but now I'm really, really happy and to welcome Kim to the table. The other person that I want to thank, and I'll be a little surreptitious here, is Jeff Vanderlane. We at times have to deal with things that are out of our control when it comes to technology, and he and his team did some incredible work behind the scenes to protect all of us, and I just want to thank Jeff personally and his team for doing some really, really wonderful work with our technology over the last couple of weeks. So with that, I'll turn it back over to our wonderful president so we can continue.
Thank you so much. That brings us to our routine matters and old business. We do not have any committee reports this evening, although I will yield some time to Vice President Moore during our consent agenda motion to discuss the personnel report, which is on the consent agenda this evening. So that brings us to the consent agenda. May I have a motion? Ms. Williams, if you don't mind using your mic, that would be great. It's okay.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as it is.
Okay, it's been moved by Ms. Williams, supported by Dr. Boddy, that the board approve the consent agenda as presented. Ms. Moore.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to highlight a few things. As you all know, well, everybody out in TV land, I don't know if you've seen our agenda, but our personnel report looks a little heavy when it comes to resignations and retirements, and I just want to share that it's normal around this year. We have not met in about a couple months, about 2 months. Christina, I'm going to have her chime in. I'm going to pass her the baton shortly, but I just want to highlight that we have 20 years of service individuals that are retiring from the Lansing School District. I want to wish them well on their retirement. We have 11 new hires that are non-teachers. We have 30 new hire teachers and administrators. We have 30. We have 1 request for leave, and that is for 1 school year. And then we have 19 individuals that have met tenured. So we're pretty excited about those accomplishments. But right now I'm going to hand the baton over to Christina, who can share or answer any questions our board may have.
So I just want to make sure. There we go. Okay. Moore said, yes, you'll see that the report is a little heavy right now, but we haven't met in a couple of months, so this is a couple of months of catch up, and this is completely normal for this time of year. So we've got teachers who are ready to retire and go on and live the next best part of their life, and that a lot of that happens at the end of the school year and during the summer, so you're going to see a lot of that. We've also got a lot of hiring going on. We just had a job fair yesterday at the Halleck Center. We have 18 new job offers that we were able to give out during that meeting that included everything from secretaries to assistants to a couple of teachers. So that was a really great experience. We're having another job fair on the 10th, and we're partnering with Michigan Works for that event. So that'll actually be at the Michigan Works location. And of course, if people that can hear me at home, anybody that's interested in working for the Lansing School District, we're happy to have you and speak with you. We have a great recruitment team and human resources, and we have a lot of great administrators that would love to have you as part of the team. So please feel free to visit the Lansing School District website and apply for any jobs that you may be interested in. One of the other things that I wanted to point out, of course, are with the tenures, and so we have our employees, once they've reached 5 years of service, are eligible for tenure, so you'll see several employees there, and if the board chooses to accept the personnel report, we will be accepting their tenure. Are there any questions?
All right, thank you very much for that update. With that updated information and the consent agenda, which includes the approval of our July 27th meeting minutes and the receipt and approval of the personnel reports. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. That brings us to our new business and discussion items. So first item this evening is the recommended bid approval for Lansing Tech High School furniture by Green Manufacturing School Outfitters, which you should have the bid recommendation in your packet this evening. May I have a motion? There are two awards this evening.
Madam President, I move that we accept the recommended bid recommendations as presented.
Thank you. It's been moved by Ms. Moore, supported by Ms. Williams. Are there any questions or comments? I can yield to Ms. Tokar if there are. This one seems pretty straightforward. Absolutely, Ms.
I do
Williams.
have a question.
If you don't mind turning on your mic,
Oh,
please. Sorry.
No, thank you. I haven't been here so long. I forgot. I just had a question about the vendor we selected. I was just wondering, could you tell us a little bit about the vendor? Because I seen we had several people that submitted bids, so I was just curious.
Sure. So part of it is that the vendor that we selected was part of the pre-approved consortium throughout the state of Michigan, and so we decided to go with them. Plus, due to like different timelines, that they're able to get us the furniture, so we can hope to make sure that we have the furniture in time before school starts. So that had a lot to do with us selecting who we selected. Yep.
Special about the furniture that we're receiving?
It's furniture.
Just furniture?
Yeah. So I would say it's your standard classroom furniture. There are some unique pieces in there. Workstations, obviously with it being a CTE high school, some of these are more geared towards not your normal chair and seat. They are meant to be workstations, meant for students to group together, collaborate, get up, move around, do that sort of thing. So it's definitely, the furniture type is focused towards the learning environment that we're going to have the students in.
What about the accessibility?
Oh, yeah.
Completely?
Completely accessible.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I
You're
appreciate-
welcome. No problem.
Thank you. Source of funds. What is it?
Yeah, I'm happy to help explain that. So we, as everybody knows, that we are awarded a magnet grant. And the magnet grant has certain money slated away to be able to purchase furniture. So we're expending that amount of money. But of course, we don't always get all the money that we need to purchase furniture. So we're also using capital funds to help supplement the magnet grant expense, or the magnet grant budget that we're able to use to purchase the rest of the furniture. So it's a split between both sources.
So it's a grant and,
Yep, it's the magnet grant. Yep, the latest one that we received last year, and then capital projects as well.
okay, so you have account numbers here that, is the 41.11300, is that the grant?
Yes.
And the capital project is what, 64110?
Yes.
Maybe next time you can write it out.
Oh,
It can be
what-
written out instead.
oh, then it says capital
Yeah,
projects or.
because we don't,
Sure, our apologies.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? I know when it's not GF or the bond fund, sometimes it's hard to keep track of everything else, so I appreciate it. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0. That brings us on to our second recommendation for approval this evening, which is the approval for Lansing School District playgrounds and mulch installation at, it will be at Lansing Tech. It's been moved by Ms. Williams, supported by Ms. Lilji. Any questions or comments?
I just had a quick question.
Absolutely, Ms. Lilji.
So we're having a playground at Lansing Technical High School where this mulch is going. I just want to make sure.
No,
No.
this mulch is for all of the mulch at the playgrounds across the entire district.
Okay,
So we have to replace mulch, every school year.
Okay.
We help replace mulch, yeah.
I read this wrong. We had 3 furniture bids. We had
oh,
3 furniture bids and not 2. And then this is just the approval for Lansing School District playgrounds mulch replacement.
okay.
Thank you.
I think under the scope summary, they all say obtain furniture for Lansing Tech High School. Okay. Okay, so
Thank you. Glad you asked that question to clarify. Any other questions or comments from my colleagues this evening? I do have one more question. It's August 3rd. We're going to be able to obtain it and lay it out.
100%.
Wonderful.
Yep, not a problem.
Just double check.
And we'll be doing other mulching as well. This is just for the playground.
I was just willing to personally let Mr. Schuldiner take some personal time, and he could, to make sure it got laid out. So it should be done, I'm just kidding. Okay, seeing no more questions or comments, may I have, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Great, motion passes 7-0. Next, we have the addition to the agenda, which is that the Board of Education convene into closed session for strategy negotiation connected with negotiating collective bargaining agreements. May, Ms. Williams? It's been moved by Ms. Williams, supported by Ms. Moore. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll ask for a roll call vote.
Mr. Richardson? Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Ms. Willis?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Ms. Lilji?
yes.
Dr. Body? Ms. Williams?
Thank you. The motion passes 7-0, and at 6:16, the board is in closed session. All right, it is 7 PM and we are back in open session. We do have one more action item in front of the board this evening. May I have a motion?
Madam President?
Yes.
I move that we accept the Lansing School District and the Lansing Association of Education Secretaries contract, as well as the Lansing School District and the Capital City Labor Program Public Safety Unit contract.
As presented?
As presented.
Thank you. It's been moved by Ms. Williams, supported by Ms. Moore. Are there any additional comments or questions? I would just note that the LAES, which is our secretary's contract, goes from 2023 to 2028, and our CCLP, public safety contracts, go from June 23rd, or from today's date in 2023 until 2027. So I'm happy that we have agreements that the board is going to take action on in just one moment. I can't celebrate quite yet. So, any additional questions or comments? All right, seeing none, I'll ask for a roll call vote.
Mr. Richardson?
Approved.
Mr. Lopez? Ms. Willis?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Ms. Liljy? Yes. Dr. Body? Ms. Williams?
All right, great. Motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much, and thank you to the bargaining team and district. Thank you to our representatives here.
Can I ask a question of the president?
Absolutely.
Would you mind inviting them up for a nice picture? Because we
I
want
would
to
love
celebrate
to for our
them.
secretary.
It's okay. You can say no, but we just want you to come. How about come up and say hello? Come up and say hello and shake their hands. You guys did great.
Liaison my first year.
Oh,
They invited me for lunch.
that's so nice. Just come around. Just come around. Say hi. It's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Where are you?
I'm at Okemos with Charles.
Okay, okay.
Yep, yep.
Tell Zandra I said hello.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
I will. Absolutely. Absolutely.
What school are you in?
I do, yeah.
Tell Calvin I said hello. LCC.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
How are you? I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I wish you on campus. Well, you know,
Transition, so.
well, welcome to Lansing School District. So good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Great job. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. I like those. Like, oh wow, I like those moments. 5 years is great. Okay. So next on the agenda is report from secretary and announcements. I will do that for Dr. Rodriguez in his absence today. So first announcement, first day of school, August 28th. Woohoo! That is for regular school, GSRP, preschool, early head start starts September 13th, which is when my baby starts school. It's okay. Remember that there will be no school to celebrate the Labor Day holiday on September 1st and September 4th. Don't forget, even though we have announced the days, people are starting to get their letters, open house invitations, all of that good jazz. It is not too late to enroll your child into the Lansing School District for the 2023-2024 school year. And remember that transportation for busing, housing, gas cards, or CATA passes are available for you to complete on the district website. Also, don't forget that the Lansing School District is also hiring, and so we would ask that you remember to look at our website. Upcoming board meetings, the next regular board meeting will be August 17th, so just a reminder to the board, we are not meeting next week for an ISS, but we do have a regular meeting scheduled for August 17th. After that, we are going to meet again on September 7th for a regular meeting, and then we're back into the swing of things. So in September, we will meet the 7th, the 14th, and the 21st. So that concludes our reports for the evening. I would like to take a moment of privilege as a comment from a board member to extend our deepest sympathies to the Scullion family. I think some of you guys know Mary Kay, who has been our parliamentarian for years, lost her 12-year-old grandson last week in an ATV accident, and he was a student at Mount Hope. He was a rising sixth grader, so he had just completed the fifth grade. So I just want to extend our deepest sympathies and also extend our sympathies to the Richardson family this evening. Any other comments from board members? Mr. Lopez?
Just like to let you all know that the Everett Marching Band performed at Bingham County Fair yesterday. They had the Battle of the Bands, and there were Everett and two others, Mason and I can't recall the other band, but they perform in the area where they have all the trucks and all that stuff. So I was working in the office, so I didn't have a chance to see them, but they perform, and I want to acknowledge that and congratulate them for their participation. Thank you, Madam President.
Okay. No more comments, questions? Ms. Williams?
First, for those of you that, again, sympathies to the Richardson family and the loss. Thank you all for the board. This has been great 8 months. I'm excited about what's to come. Let's see, what else? There are going to be several backpack community events going on in the district over the next few weekends. Next weekend, St. Stephen's Community Church is having one from 12 to 4. Tabernacle of David is having one from 1 to 4. So if your kids do need supplies, please go. I will be there waving hands and shaking hands. But I want to take a personal point of privilege. My son is in the building, but he did not want to do public comments. So this is his public comments from him to his friends, to the classrooms, to the community, to everybody. Please, please, please put the guns down, is what he said. He is hurting right now to see so many of his friends going through, having issues. Right now, as he speaks, one of his friends is laying in the hospital. He says we need to come together as a district, as a community, as a city, whatever it takes, that we can go back to what things used to be and how that I'm saying it the way he described it to me, but as a parent, I'm going to say it this way. We need to now take action, because as a district, the pandemic put a lot of things in disarray, and so now we're trying to find our way back. So as a community, as parents, as teachers, as educators, as people that love children, we need to come to the table and create a scenario that's going to work for them, because he's afraid now. And as a 15-year-old getting ready to go back to school, and so many others, we do have the wands and the metal detectors, but we can't protect them when they're not in school. So we need to come to the table and create a scenario. He, as well as the city, is hurting. I mean, we're seeing too much, and it's actually personal for us as his mother, because his brother was shot in senseless violence 2 years ago. Many of you just held the mother of one of the young ladies from Eastern that would have graduated this year. So we need to find our place in the community and make it work, connecting with all the powers to be. Kudos to all the teachers that have done summer school, that have had the opportunity to talk to these students that are in the summer school classes at Ebersol and everything. Kudos to you for going the extra mile, but there's more to be done, and that's what he asked to do today.
Thank you. I will ask, if you guys recall, do you guys remember when we had our incident at Everett a few years ago, and we started a subcommittee with trustees Moore and Lilgy? I believe there's maybe an opportunity for us as a district to reconvene some conversations around safety and felt safety in the district. So, yeah, thank you, Ms. Williams. Any other questions? May I have a motion to adjourn? It's been moved by Ms. Williams, supported by Ms. Lilgy. You guys don't get to debate. That just means all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 7-0, and at 7:10, we are adjourned.